Hi again, it's me, Malanka. Yes, I'm doing a lot of my videos outside. I'm trying to utilize what nice weather we have before the snow comes. And then I'm gonna have to figure out a new place to do my recordings. But I'm gonna enjoy the fresh air for as long as I can. So the last video I ended off where my ex, Kyle, was wanting to really work on our marriage. Or at least it sounded like it. Those moments never lasted very long, honestly. He probably threatened separation or divorce at least 20 times. At least, if not more, in 9 months. I ended up having sex with him when he said that he wanted to make things work. He wanted to make up, and yeah, I was willing to do whatever I had to make my marriage work. And yeah, I gave him a piece of me, and the next day he went to work and he came home. He was really nasty towards me. I was trying to be like cuddly and lovey kind of thing, going above and beyond just to try and give him what he seemed to want. And he said he was done. It was over. And then just left and went back to work. The next day, he asked if he could come over and pack a bag and grab some stuff because he was going to be staying at his parents' or his brother's. And I didn't need him walking in and out, especially with the kids. And so I told him I was going to pack a bag and I would leave it in the garage and he can pick it up whenever. So that's what I did. I packed a bag and I left it outside in the garage. I got both of our kids to bed by myself, which was typical. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to go out back because we had 17 acres. And I was just going to do some practice shooting with my bow. I wanted to work off some frustration and just do some target shooting. When he came to pick up his bag, he had seen me outside. I had the monitor with me, so I was listening for the kids. And I don't know what happened, but he came up and he gave me this sob story of at work he had this daydream that the kids were at the window screaming and crying for him, and it just completely broke his heart, and he didn't want our marriage to be over. He didn't want to do that to our children. But he still needed some space. He still needed some time. He was going to spend several nights at his brother's to just kind of reflect. At least that's what he told me. But he still wanted to work on it. So we're going through this yo-yo of it's over, no, I want you. It's over, no, I want you. And this is just the beginning. We haven't even made it a month through this yet. And yeah, that's what it ended up leading to. I didn't see him for several days. He was spending nights at his parents'. And then we had this crazy storm. I've never seen snow so heavy before, to the point where it rendered a good part of our province with no electricity. There were some places that it took about 10 days to get their electricity back up and running because the snow was so heavy. It had trees falling over or like completely bent. It knocked over power lines. It did so much damage. So I'm at home alone with both our children, and what woke me was my daughter's baby monitor. It was beeping and making the noise when it's not connecting to the home unit. And I thought that was really odd. So I got up and I checked it, and we didn't have any power. Okay, so I decided, you know what, I better just make sure that the wood stove is stoked. And the moment I stepped into the basement, I stepped into water. And I'm thinking, fuck, what am I gonna do? I have 2 kids and our basement's flooding. So I stoke the fire. I put as much wood as I can because that's the only way to keep the house warm for my 2 children. And I tried calling my ex, and I tried calling him, and I tried calling him, and there's no answer. He's not answering his phone. And I'm scrambling at this point because I'm like, what can I do? So I ended up calling his mom, since he was staying at his parents', and I called her several times before she finally answered her phone. And she wasn't happy. Things between me and his parents were not good after that point where they basically took his side. When I first initially discovered text messages between him and Christine. But I had told her, you need to put him on the phone. Our basement is flooding. I need him on the phone. So she put him on the phone. He was groggy and everything. You need to get home now. Our basement is flooding and we have no power. I want to say it took him about 45 minutes. I'm dealing with 2 cranky kids because there's no light in their room because there's no power, so the night lights aren't working. Trying to calm them down, trying to bail out our basement so it doesn't completely flood, and trying to remove all of our boxes and stuff that were underneath one level of the house that was in the basement, trying to protect our property, our stuff, waiting anxiously for him to get home. So I'm running around like crazy, making sure that the wood stove's stoked, bailing out the basement, moving boxes, tending to our children. He ended up running to his brother's after he got home to borrow his generator to try and get our pump to pump out the well, which we had to actually take turns because his brother also didn't have electricity. He lived about 1.5 miles away from us. So the generator was being tossed from one place to another. We were trying to find a place to buy a generator, and everywhere was basically sold out because everyone was scrambling to get a generator because they had no power. I want to say around 2 p.m. of just constant trying to keep the basement empty and keep the house warm and feed the kids. And the kids and I ended up going to a friend's place because they had power. We ended up contacting my parents, and a coworker of theirs ended up having a generator for sale. So Kyle came to my parents to pick up this generator that we ended up purchasing from them. And just so we had something, and we didn't get power until the next day. And it was a nightmare. It was a complete nightmare. I'm like, we're in the middle of a marriage battle. We're struggling, and I don't know what I would have done if his parents didn't answer their phone, because he wasn't, and I knew he wouldn't, because heck, he had hard enough time getting up to his own alarm in the morning to go to work. He'd leave it and it would go for like 15 minutes, and I'd have to literally push him out of bed just to get him to go to work. So no wonder he's not waking up to his phone ringing. He never woke up to our children crying or screaming or anything. Like it didn't surprise me, but it was frustrating. So frustrating. And I didn't know what else to do. So that's the next little snippet of my story. If you want to continue listening to my crazy story, press that subscribe button and I will continue to record. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay safe. And I don't wish this on anyone. Bye.